Ok, clase, para este video vamos a aprender sobre los pronombres con infinitivos. So we're going to learn about pronouns, which you already know, direct object pronouns and indirect object pronouns, and also reflexive pronouns. But now I'm going to teach you how to attach these both onto a verb in the infinitive. We briefly learned this when we discussed pronouns, but we didn't go into it a whole lot, so that's what we're going to practice with now. Okay? So last chapter we learned how to take direct object pronouns and indirect object pronouns and use them in the same sentence. So do you remember this formula? IOP plus DOP plus a conjugated verb. That's always the order if you're using, keyword here, a conjugated verb. And just for clarification's sake, as we go through this video, all the IOPs will be in blue and DOPs will be in green, okay? Just to help you out. So in a sentence, as we've already learned, the IOP goes first, followed by the DOP, and then followed by a verb which is conjugated. Again, I'm stressing the word conjugated for a certain reason. So, for example, look at this sentence. I give them to you. Te los doy. And remember, you kind of read it backwards. I give them to you. IOP, DOP, conjugated verb. So remember, when you're standing at an altar, you want to say I do. You never want to say do I. That would be unfortunate. Okay, so this is how we put it in this order when we're using a conjugated verb. But what if the verb is not conjugated? What if the verb is still in the infinitive tense? Does the order stay the same? So when the object pronouns, DOPs and IOPs, are used with a verb in the infinitive, the object pronouns can either be placed before the infinitive, as we've been learning, or you can attach to it at the end. So what do I mean by that? Let's look at this sentence. Quiero mostrar el caballo a mi primo. I want to show the horse to my cousin. So here we just have a regular sentence, right? But I don't want to keep, if I'm telling a story, for example, I don't want to keep saying, I want to show the horse to my cousin, I want to show the horse to my cousin, blah, blah, blah. I want to replace horse and cousin with pronouns, right? And so DOP would be horse, the IOP would be my cousin. So as we've learned, right, just like on this slide right here, IOP, DOP, and then a verb, I'm going to put my IOP first, which a mi primo changes to say, right? El caballo changes to lo, and then I plug in the rest. So I want to show it to him. Now, I don't necessarily want to do it like this, and this is the new thing you're about to learn. If you have a verb in the infinitive tense, you can attach these lovely pronouns to the end of your verb, but only if it's in the infinitive. So look right here, mostrar is in the infinitive, quiero is not, right? So you have to attach these to here. So what does that look like? Quiero mostrárselo a él. I want, and look, now it's in order. I want to show it, well, sort of. I want to show it to him, referring to the cousin. Okay? So again, if you have a verb in the infinitive, like we do right here, you can attach the pronouns to the verb. So instead of, all you're doing really is where you're used to putting them before, you can attach them to the end now. Okay? So let's look at this in more detail. This is the sentence we just looked at, so don't be confused. We just looked at this. So note, in the example above, which we just looked at, there's an accent mark right here in the infinitive. The infinitive only has an accent mark if there are two pronouns attached to it. So never will you ever have an accent mark over a vowel in the infinitive unless there's two pronouns attached to it, okay? So anytime, that's just a side note, anytime you're going to attach pronouns to the end of an infinitive verb, you're going to have an accent mark. Okay? So let's have some practica. Again, this may take a second to do, so pause the video. But again, we've already worked with this. The only thing you're doing is keeping in mind you're just placing the pronouns to the back. So rewrite the following sentences with DOPs and IOPs attached to the infinitive. So here's your sentence. Quiero dar una vaca a mi padre. I want to give a cow to my dad. Seems kind of strange, but I'm trying to incorporate our vocab in there as well. Okay, so what would that look like? First off, we need to identify what's our IOP, what's our DOP, right? IOP being the person receiving the object, and DOP, the object being given. What's being given? una vaca. So that's going to be our DOP. Who's the person receiving it? Mi padre. That's going to be the IOP. So keep that in mind. IOP goes first, then DOP. So what do we replace a mi padre with? Me, te, le, nos, or les. Or technically say or say. What do we replace una vaca with? Me, te, lo, la, nos, los, or las. And your sentence will come out to be quiero dársela. I want to give, that doesn't change. I want to give him it. I want to give him it. Referring him to padre and la referring to una vaca. Let's do una más. Whoops. Oh, I gave you the answer. Sorry about that. Okay, so for this one, querré cantar una canción para mi esposo. I will want to sing a song for my husband. The answer comes out to be querré cantársela. I will want to sing him it. It referring to song, una canción, feminine, feminine, and say referring to para mi esposo, my husband. Okay? And really, that is it para este video. So, gracias por escucharme. Don't worry if this seemed just like a bunch of words to you. Although we did already cover this, it's just with a slight twist. So, we will practice with more of this tomorrow. Don't fret if you don't get it. We're not going to spend too much time on this, okay? Adios.